I'm privileged to invite Comrade Xi Jinping, General Secretary of the CPC Central Committee, President of the People's Republic of China, and Chairman of the Central Military Commission, to deliver an important address. All my countrymen and women, Your Excellencies, heads of state and government, and representatives of the United Nations and other international organizations, distinguished guests, all officers and soldiers participating in the parade, ladies and gentlemen, comrades and friends. Today is a day that will forever be etched in the memory of people all over the world. 70 years ago today, the Chinese people, having fought tenaciously for 14 years, won the great victory of their war of resistance against Japanese aggression, marking the full victory of the World Anti-Fascist War. On that day, the world was once again blessed by the sunshine of peace. On this occasion, on behalf of the Central Committee of the Communist Party of China, the Standing Committee of the National People's Congress, the State Council, the National Committee of the Chinese People's Political Consultative Conference, and the Central Military Commission, I pay high tribute to all the veterans, comrades, patriots, and officers in China who took part in the war of resistance, and all the Chinese at home and abroad who contributed significantly to the victory of the war. I extend heartfelt gratitude to foreign governments and friends who supported and assisted the Chinese people in resisting aggression. I also warmly welcome all the foreign guests and representatives of the armed forces of foreign countries present today. Ladies and gentlemen, comrades and friends, the Chinese People's War of Resistance against Japanese aggression and the World Anti-Fascist War were a decisive battle between justice and evil, between light and darkness, and between progress and reaction. In that devastating war, the Chinese People's War of Resistance against Japanese aggression started the earliest and lasted the longest. In defiance of aggression, the unyielding Chinese people fought gallantly and finally won total victory against the Japanese militarist aggressors, thus preserving China's 5,000-year-old civilization and upholding the cause of peace of mankind. This remarkable feat made by the Chinese nation was rare in the history of war. The victory of the Chinese people's war of resistance against Japanese aggression is the first complete victory won by China in its resistance against foreign aggression in modern times. This great triumph crushed the plot of the Japanese militarists to colonize and enslave China and put an end to China's national humiliation of suffering successive defeats at the hands of foreign aggressors in modern times. This great triumph re-established China as a major country in the world and won the Chinese people respect of all peace-loving people around the world. This great triumph opened up bright prospects for the great renewal of the Chinese nation and set our ancient country on a new journey after gaining rebirth.
在那场战争中，
During the war,
中国人民以巨大民族牺牲
with huge national sacrifice,
世
the
界
Chinese
反法
people
西斯
held
战争
ground
的
in the
东
main
方
theater
战场，
in the east of the World
为世
Anti-Fascist
界
War,
反法西斯战争胜利
thus making
做出
major
了重大贡
contribution
献。
to its victory.
中国人民抗日战争也得到了国际
In
社
their war
会
against Japanese
广泛
aggression,
支持。
the Chinese people received extensive
中国人民
support
将
from the
永远
international
铭记
community.
各国人民
The Chinese people will
为
always
中国
remember
抗
what
战
the
胜利
people of other
做
countries
出的
did
贡
for
献。
the victory of their war of resistance.
女士们、先生们，
Ladies and
同志们，
gentlemen,
朋友们，
comrades and friends,
经历了战争的人们，更加懂
the
得
experience
和
of
平的
war
宝
makes
贵。
people value peace all the more.
我们纪念中国人民抗日战争
The aim of our commemoration of the 70th anniversary of the victory of the Chinese People's War of resistance against Japanese aggression and the World Anti-Fascist War is to bear history in mind,
开创
honor
未
all
来
those who laid down their lives, cherish peace, and
那
open
场
up
战
the
争的战
future.
火，遍及
Ravaging through Asia,
亚洲、欧洲、
Europe,
非洲、
Africa,
大洋洲，
and Oceania,
军队和民
That war
众伤亡超过1亿，
inflicted over 100 million military and civilian
中国
casualties.
伤亡人数超过3500万，
China suffered over 35 million
死亡人数
casualties,
超过2700
and the
万。
Soviet Union lost more than 27
绝
million
不让
lives.
历史悲剧重演，是我们对当年
The best way to honor the heroes who gave their lives
正义、
to
和
uphold
平而
freedom,
牺牲的英勇，
justice, and peace,
对
and
惨
mourn the
遭屠杀
loss
的无辜亡灵的
of innocent
最好
lives
纪念。
brutally taken during the war is to make sure that this historical
战争是一面
tragedy
镜子，
will never repeat itself.
能够让人更好
War
认
is
识
like a
和
mirror.
平的珍贵。
Looking at it helps us better appreciate the value of peace.
和平与发展
Today, peace and
已经成
development
为时代主
have
题，
become the prevailing
但
trend,
世界仍
but the
不
world
不太平。
is still far from
战争的
tranquil.
达摩克利斯之剑依然悬在人类
War
手
is
上。
the sword of Damocles that still hands over
坚
mankind.
定维护和平
We
的
must
决心，
learn the lessons of history and dedicate ourselves to
为
peace.
了和平，我们要
In the interest
牢
of
固树立
peace,
人类命运共同体意
we
识，
need to foster a keen sense of a global
偏见和
community
歧视、
of shared future.
仇恨和战争
Prejudice,
只会带来灾
discrimination,
难、
hatred,
和痛苦。
and war can only cause disaster
相互尊重
and suffering.
平等相处，
While mutual respect,
和平发展
equality, peaceful
共同
development,
繁荣，才
and
是
common prosperity
人间正道。
represent the right path to take.
世界各国应该共同维护
All
以
countries
联合国宪章宗旨
should
和
jointly
原则为核
uphold
心
the
的
international
国际
order and system
秩序
underpinned
和国际
by the purposes
体系，
and principles of the
积极构
UN
建
Charter.
以合作共赢为核心的新型
Build
国
a
际
new
关
type
系，
of international
共
relations
同推进
featuring win-win
世界和
cooperation
平与发
and
展的
advance the noble
崇高
cause
事业。
of global peace and development.
为了和平，
In the interest
中
of
国
peace,
将始终坚持走
China
和
will
平发
remain
展道路。
committed to peaceful development.
中华民族历来
We
爱好
Chinese
和平
love peace.
无论发展到哪一步，
No matter how much
中国都永远
stronger
不称
it may
霸。
become,
永远不搞扩张，永
China
远不会把自
will
身
never
曾
seek
经经历过的
hegemony
悲
or
惨遭遇
expansion. It will never
强加
inflict
给
its
其他
past
民
suffering on any other nation.
中国人民将坚持同世界各
The
国人民
Chinese people
友好相处，
are resolved to pursue
坚决
friendly
捍卫
relations with
中
all
国人
other
民
countries,
抗日战争
uphold the
和世界
outcomes of the Chinese
反法西斯
people's
战
war of
争
resistance
胜利
against
成
Japanese
果
aggression and the World
努力为人类
Anti-Fascist
做
War,
出新的更大
and
贡
make
献。
greater contribution to mankind.
中国人民解放军是人民子弟兵，
The People's Liberation Army of China is the People's Army.
要牢记
All of its
全心
officers,
全意
men and
为人
women,
民
must
服务
bear
的
in
根
mind
本
the
宗旨，
responsibility of serving the people
忠实履行
wholeheartedly,
保卫祖国
faithfully
安全
fulfill
和人民和平生活的
the sacred duty of
神圣
protecting the
职责，
nation's security and people's
忠
well-being,
实执行维护世
and
界
carry
和
out
平
the
的
noble mission of
神圣
upholding
使
world
命。
peace.
我宣布，
Here I announce
中国
that China
将裁减
will
军
cut
队
the
员
number
额
of its
30
troops
万。
by 300,000.
女士们、先生们、
Ladies and gentlemen,
同志们、朋友们，
comrades and friends,
米不有出，先克有
as
终。
an ancient Chinese saying goes, after making a good start, we should ensure that the cause achieves
需要
fruition.
一代又一代人
The great renewal of the Chinese nation requires the dedicated efforts of one generation after
创
another.
造了具有5000多年历史的
Having
灿烂
created
文
a
明，
splendid civilization of over
也一定能够
5,000 years,
创造出
the Chinese
更
nation
加
will
灿烂
certainly
的明
usher in
天。
an even brighter future.
前进道路上，
Going
全国各族
forward,
人民要在中国共产党领导下，
under the
坚
leadership
持以马克思列宁主
of the
义、
Communist Party of China,
毛泽东思
we
想、
people of all ethnicities across the country should take Marxism,
三个代表
Leninism,
重要思
Mao
想、
Zedong thought, Deng
科
Xiaoping
学发
theory,
展观、
the important thought of the
为指导，
three represents, and the
沿着
scientific outlook on
中国特
development
色
as our
社会
guide
主义道
to
路，
action.
按
We
照
should
四
follow
个
the
全
path
面
of socialism
战略布
with
局，
Chinese characteristics,
弘扬
pursue
伟
the
大的爱国主义
four-pronged
精神，
comprehensive strategy,
弘扬伟
promote
大的抗战精
patriotism
神，
and the great spirit of
万
resisting
众一
aggression,
心，风雨无阻，
and
向着我们
forge
既定的
ahead
目标继续奋
as
勇
one
前
to
进。
reach our goals.
Let
Let us bear in mind the great truth of history.
正义必胜，
Justice will prevail.
和平必胜，
Peace will prevail.
人民必胜。
The people will prevail.